So, just a little advice, PSA. So, I'm thinking myself, and I work out, been working out since I was 13. And I see all these people that are talking about how they're gonna take on all these apocalyptic things with their AR-15s, and these guys are they're like 400 pounds out of shape, can't walk down into the driveway to get the mail without running out of breath, and they're somehow gonna protect the world with their guns. Um, which hey, if you're firing from a distance, it might be a bad idea, but you're a sniper, I guess, fat sniper. But we all need to be in better shape nowadays, and we need to be taking care of ourselves better. And we know that's a fact. I go to the grocery store, I see so many obese people. Of course, the where area I live in, they don't have to pay for the groceries, so it's you look at what they're getting. Um, I look at what people get in the grocery line, and it's like all high glycemic carbohydrates. It's like all bread, cookies, cake, candy, and it's like it's it's everything there, like Jimmy Dean sausage and biscuits and shit. It's like people, they don't even, and they act like that's all there is to eat, but they don't make good food choices around here. And then they pull out the government EBT card and they get that shit, and it's way more expensive. I can go buy canned beans. Everybody makes fun of my canned beans, but a can of beans is much better for you than a goddamn some honey buns. Um, so sodium and all. There's not that much sodium. You get lower sodium food. So I mean, I eat canned foods all the time, but it's usually just beans and um, things like that. I don't choose to get the dry beans, but hey, call me lazy, I guess. But hey, I see what people are doing, and we're in some tough times now, and people need to learn how to live off of better foods. And if you're going to have to survive, or there's a food shortage or whatever, it'd be better to have those kind of foods to ration out than this garbage. It's probably going to go bad anyway because of the nature of the food that you're eating, because a lot of that shit spoils over time more than some canned foods will. And not just canned food. There's other stuff, plenty of other stuff you could get, but I'm just using that for example. That's what we use for food. We use canned food drives because that's the easiest way to get it, and it lasts longer. So I'm doing things myself. I'm going to change my training up like I usually do, and I think I'm going to drop down under. I run around anywhere from 190s, high 190s to the 205 range, but I'm going to lean up. So because I ain't worried about being how big I am. I like to have muscles and all that kind of shit, but it's still lean mass and looking good. Um, I think that you can look good and be lean, so it depends on the situation. Um, so I'm probably going to lean up myself. I'm climbing scaffolds and ladders and all that shit, and holding pipe up in the air and running around with these jobs working. We're working over tens every day or over eights. We're not doing 8 hour days for a while, trying to get these deadlines. But I think we all need to be now in these times more aware of our health. And if you guys look at these riots and these things going on, you may have to run from people to your car. You may have to fight people off of you. You may have to have a bad situation. So we need to be in our best shape in case we're attacked or hurt by other people. Um, and not just we can carry guns all day, but there's only certain situations where you can use a gun, and they're not legal, as we know now, because we saw these people they're trying to prosecute for pulling guns out. You got to be really, the gun needs to be a last resort. Um, should be the last resort whenever they can be, because they can't just shoot people. I mean, it's maybe easier for a woman or somebody like that to say they're in fear of their life and use a firearm, but you really want to try to avoid getting close enough to people to where they can attack you. Or get your firearm. Get away. Keep your distance. Be situationally aware, and it can happen to anybody. We had a guy last week, and I wrote this on the story online, where he had got his ribs kicked in because there was people down on First Avenue stealing tools out the base, coming right out the garage doors, and he saw them. So he was attacked by two guys and beat down. They put him in an ambulance. and a big guy from one of the crews went out there and fought two guys off. They ran around the Second Avenue. The cops got them, and one of them was hiding in the cookie store on Second Avenue. The cookie store people really nice. They give us a construction discount. So even though I don't eat a lot of cookies, I actually bought one for my daughter over there, like a big pie. So if you're ever on Second Avenue in Nashville, go to that damn cookie store, because that guy's super nice dude. He may not give you a construction discount because you ain't a construction worker. But everybody that sells food on Second is really good. Peter Pitt over there. Sometimes I get a year over there. You can get any way you want them made to your specifications if you like. Get them healthier. They'll make whatever you want. They got all kinds of stuff there. And they're actually the best price place to eat. If you're on Second Avenue in Nashville, if you're walking down Second, Peter Pitt is actually the best priced place just to grab some food. That's not hot dog garbage and shit like that. But if you want a decent wrap or decent food, decent thing down there, that's a good place. The food's clean, the people are clean, everything's prepared right in front of you, and the people are super nice. So yeah, if you come to Nashville, I recommend that, and I recommend if you like junk cookie store, and they got a Nutella store. There's a Nutella store on the Second Avenue, the side closer to First, not the opposite side. But if you're going on the side, on Second Avenue going down towards First Avenue, that side, they've got a Nutella store there. Of course, we got the Spaghetti Factory's been there for years. We got the melting pot where I used to go there years ago. My first wife used to love that damn place. I haven't been there since then, but some people like that fondue shit. I had enough of it the rest of my life when I used to go with her. So that said, get into practice. You guys are getting guns. There's so many of you getting guns. Get out there and practice. I know it's hard to find ammo to use with these guns, but you gotta learn to pull the damn trigger. Get over this thing, because you do not want to be shooting that thing for the first time at a crisis. Try to get some way to try that thing out. It's not really safe to carry these guns if you don't know what you're doing. And so, be aware and get yourselves in shape, because a gun ain't gonna solve all your problems. Get yourself in shape, because you have to abandon your car. You have to run for a mile. You don't want to have a heart attack trying to get away from something happening. And we don't know what's going to happen next. Anything can happen. You can be run out of your own house. I know some of you people, I had a friend the other day saying, it'll never happen to me because I'm in the country and da-da-da. I told him, I said, do you not go to grocery stores? You don't raise all your food in the backyard and eat deer, okay? You can say that you do all you want, but there's very, very few people that live off the fucking land nowadays and don't go somewhere. To get gasoline, you got to go to a gas station. You got to go somewhere. I mean, they don't make their own gas in the backyard with corn. They don't shoot deer in the backyard and grow a garden. Everybody goes to the store, and when you go to the store, you're in the middle of what's close to an urban area. And if they're attacking Wendy's and Walmarts now, then you can get attacked anywhere you are. So all you people who think you're safe, we've already seen they're kicking in gated communities. Nobody is safe from this crap. None of you are safe from it. So you need to be prepared. Do not aim your gun at anybody. Do not wave a gun around. Okay? That can be turned into a aggravated assault charge. You have to keep the gun. If you're going to keep the gun where it's not threatening someone, don't threaten someone with a gun. The gun needs to be, when the gun's out, that needs to be a last resort. But if you're waving guns around, threatening, they can call that intimidation. They already took the guns off those people that had the guy with the AR, and the woman had the cheap ass was Jimenez or whatever gun, Ring of Fire gun that she had. So, you guys need to learn the laws, and everybody gets emotional, makes mistakes. If you got a gun, it's really easy to say fuck it and get mad and wave the damn thing out because you just irritated the idiots out here. And I understand that. But be aware to try not to do it. Try not to get caught up in it. I'm not saying that every damn one of us would make that same mistake if we're really angry and you see a mob outside your house. And some people think they would start firing. But it'd probably be better if you just kind of stay in the house, and if that happens, and unless they're really, endangering somebody's yard, whatever, if you could just keep locked and loaded in the house. Don't let them know what you got till the last minute. They kick my door in. If they kick my door in, my the whole thing is they're coming to kill me. I mean, anybody kicks your door in, what are you going to do? They're going to kill you, rape your wife, or do something. You got to, at that point, you break in the house. I'm going to shoot you. If you kick my door in, I'm shooting you because I've seen too many home invasions in this area. And so you kick me. Don't. I had this guy I work with who's an expert on everything because he used to be a drug dealer and went to prison, and he has a lot of mixed kids. That's his pretty much his what he tells me his criteria for knowing everything because he his in his words is he fucks this white girl so he is a been African American gentleman that's been to prison uh, numerous times, sold drugs and kidnapping charges, and so he knows damn near everything you can know. This is what he tells me, so I gotta believe him. He knows everything you know about racism and fucking what's gonna happen. And these guys will tell me that this shit about how everything works. So I heard him saying the other day that everybody run out of bullets. You run in, you only got so many bullets and shit. Well, that's the thing is, if you can help it, try not to run out of bullets. So try to get where you don't, because you may have to have you got enough people. You may have to just be ready to shoot. They may shoot back. They may have weapons. So you really don't need to have to shoot anybody if you can help it. You need to just be ready if you have to, but let me tell you, once you start pulling that trigger, it's over because you don't know what's going to happen at that point. They're going to burn your house down around you. You don't want to have to pull the trigger. Everybody thinks shooting somebody's not glamorous. It is not an instant solution. You may miss. You may hit something you don't want to hit. You may especially with certain guns, certain hits, man. Sometimes somebody can kick your ass. You shoot somebody 3 or 4 times. It's not like on you guys. Think this, use this, keep this in your head. It is nothing like the damn Keanu Reeves shit where he's running around shooting people, they fall down immediately. It's not John Wick. Okay, I've seen people shot 2 or 3 times still coming at you like they don't even know they've been shot, especially with higher velocity rounds or something like a 380s or 9mm that are going they're higher hyper speed. You're doing some cases not with the 380s, more than 9mm. You're doing 1,100 feet per second or over 1,000 feet per second, 1,200 feet per second. Going through, especially ball ammo, it's searing through the body. And I've seen people just still adrenaline and not even realize they've been shot, and fighting and grabbing people, and they can pretty much kill somebody and take their gun away from them before they fall down. So seriously, you're not that hydrostatic shock and that original brainstem shit or whatever. That don't always happen like on TV. So I mean, shooting somebody is not always going to work 100%. You don't want to have to ever be in a position to. Now, as much of a gun aficionado as I am, I'm honest about guns. Guns are not magic wands. So that's why you need to practice and be comfortable with the damn thing and be comfortable how to get, malfunctions. And there's ways to do malfunction drills, but be comfortable with every operation of that gun in case it jams, malfunctions, something happens. And it can jam not because the gun's a piece of crap. You can grab it and you can limp wrist it because you're in a hurry or somebody's coming at you. You can limp wrist a gun. You can manufacture. You can accidentally push the magazine release. You can hit the magazine release on a holster, which I've done. All this, I've hit a magazine release on a holster. I had people that were attacking my wife here, and I had a 380 Beretta Cheetah that I had carried for years, and I had shot at people before with it when they were robbing me in the clubs, and I took that, and I'm a goddamn marksman with those guns, especially small caliber handguns. And you ask anybody who's ever went shooting with me, especially Cheetahs. I've been shooting Beretta Cheetahs from 32s, 380s, those small guns. Of course, I shoot Glocks and everything else, and high powers and everything pretty damn decently. But those guns are guns I can just not even pay attention. I can close my eyes and hit pretty much any time because they're so easy to shoot. They're just heavy enough that the trigger pull there's no recoil with them, so it's like shooting a 22 caliber pistol for me, and it's second nature because that's the guns I learned on were those direct blowback Beretta handguns and things like an FN 1922. I learned on those type of guns, so I can hit very well with those guns. But I had that gun much experience as I had with that gun. I had 3 shots off, and I had a stovepipe because the extractor was going bad. I later on replaced it. I thought it was magazine springs, but I replaced all the mag springs, and then I had to replace the extractor. The extractor wasn't kicking the rounds. I had to manually get that thing jammed to get that next shot off because we were being attacked. They ran away from the shots because when I did the shooting at them got them to run off, which stopped the threat, which is what you do. But I did have a malfunction in that gun. I ran through the house with that gun, and I couldn't tell when I got it back to here and I grabbed it, if I accidentally hit the slide with my hand, or if it was that, and it, as I said, the extractor was going bad. So I had to learn how to clear that round quickly, like it was nothing. And that's what you need to do, is learn how these things work. So you can clear rounds, you can do all these things, run about 1,000 rounds or more through these carry guns, and run the ammo that you're going to carry. It's expensive to do, but run that ammo, make sure it's going to feed it, and try to make sure. Look at your grains, the grain sizes that you use, and some guns work better with heavier grains, lighter grains. Look at like for a 9mm, you're going to have usually a 115, 124. In some cases, in Hornady's, they're 135s, 147s. When you're getting into 147 grains, you're getting into a heavier round, which is going to be subsonic, which is going to be slower. And usually those rounds, the upside of those is if they're bonded. Look and see if they're bonded. They're heavier. We're going to have more barrier penetration. Pay attention to what you're using. So that's my advice for the apocalyptic times we live in. Start working out, train your ass off, eat right, make yourself a better person while you're locked up in this shit. If you're not working, if you're finding yourself at home more, concentrate on yourself and your health. And if like I said, if you get guns, don't just get a gun to get a gun. Those people the other day that were on the news, they look like they never held a gun before. They had horrible gun handling habits. I'm all for them having Second Amendment. Just like we saw the black militia out there, that I'm all for them having guns. That's great. But you look at some of the shit they had out there. I guess they're going to fight a war they've got some 22s with drum mags. And, the thing about drum mags, everybody gets worked up about 100-round drum magazines, but I tell you what, let them keep the goddamn things. You know why? Because 100-round drum magazines, I hate to tell you, they're gimmicks. Most of your 100-round drum magazines fail. It's really hard to get a magazine with that many rounds to not fail. So, yeah, your standard capacity mags usually work best. You start putting fucking extra floor plate springs and gimmicks in these fucking things. If they're not a good factory made magazine, if you start trying to make more capacity, a lot of times you screw the gun up. I've seen it screw up all kinds of guns. Some of those kits, even for Glock, as reliable as a Glock 43 is, some of those extension kits screw those guns up. And I've seen Glock 43s that people had. Now you've got the Glock 43X, which has a longer grip, more rounds anyway. And they do have really, what I've heard, 15-round mags for Glock 48s and 43X. That are 15 rounds now, but you have to get a new magazine release because of the polymer. But there's a couple things you got to do. You study up on those. If you got a 43X, not the regular 43, but a 43X or a 48, then you can get a 15-round mag. They're on back order right now, but they are available. For a company called Shield Arms makes them. And so you could get those if you really want a 15-round small gun like that. I don't really think you have to have it. I think 10's fine with that gun. I think just carry a spare mag. In my opinion, I don't think you're going to need it. But they're great guns to carry. They're great compacts. And those of you who have a Glock 43 that want that extra grip or capacity, you can get a lower for, less than a new gun, but you can get a new low receiver. They are interchangeable. I've got a Glock 43 and I've got a Glock 48. And I can take the slide off the 43 and put on the 48 to shorten the slide, which I carry a lot of times. Actually, matter of fact, I think it's over here. I've got that. So, you see this right here. Of course, it's suppressor. Yeah, this right here is a Glock, my Glock 48 lower with my Glock 43 upper. And the reason you can tell this is an original 43 and not the 43X, besides it says 43, is it doesn't have front serrations. The 43X models have front serrations. The old 43s don't have front serrations right here. But so you can tell if you've got this big of a grip, if you've got that full size 10 round grip and you've got no front serrations, that means that somebody has taken original Glock 43 slide and put on a 43X or 48 lower. You can buy either one separately. You can order separate parts for Glocks, which is Glocks are really easy to work on and deal with if you don't know. They're one of the easier guns to work on. And pretty simple. They're not the prettiest guns out there, but I've got Browning high powers and pretty guns, but hell, I carry these ugly fucking guns more than I do those. Those things stay in the safe or go to the range to be shown off most of the time. So anyway, that said, start bettering yourselves. Bad times are coming, whether we're running out of food, whether we are going to have somebody attack us in our home or our vehicle. We need to be in better shape. We need to be more aware. We need to be sober. You guys sitting in the car smoking a joint, getting out of it. I don't know. You guys will tell me to go to hell on this one, but I wouldn't want to be sitting in the parking lot getting high smoking weed nowadays. With God knows what's going to happen when people walk up to your car. And people are liable to do anything nowadays. I think we need to be sober minded. We need to be all about our families, protecting people we love, sober, eat well, exercise, have ourselves in a sober minded state, ready to defend ourselves. If we're going to carry guns, we don't want to. Everybody hates this too, but I don't like open carry. Let it be a surprise. But get yourself good holsters or holsters you know how to work with. Get yourself something. Try to keep your weapons concealed, because if they're not, you'll be a target. And this is my advice. I know a lot of people tell you it's wrong, but I tried now. Of course, you guys know me, so I'm admitting to carry a gun. But people out in the street don't know it's me. So I'm not revealing that out there on the street. I'm trying to keep it hidden. So I try to keep my guns hidden, and I try to look like I'm not carrying any guns on me. And there's ways to do that. I don't want people coming after me because I'm the person with the gun. I would rather use the gun as a last resort when I need to than be forced to use it because someone knows I have it on me. So that's just my way of thinking. Maybe it's wrong. Maybe it's not tactical or whatever you want to say. But regardless, you guys be careful. And just hopefully we'll get through all this. And hopefully things will go back to normal. And, do what you got to do. Take care.